Yes. Excellent. He did instruct us to go to the Mint. Do I have an idea of how long it will take to get there? Is it just like a chrono? Okay. The fancy side, of course. Yeah. And Tam is interested to see how the fancy side lives versus because we've only seen the less fancy side. We've been in kind of low town area lately. Is the Arcanium in the fancy side of town? Hmm. Okay. Tam, gotcha. I think Tam is going to tell the group to kind of get some because I don't think we like I don't know if we really ate breakfast or settled in. We just went on a mission, or at least some of us did. Um, so I'm going to sort of like basically tell the team to take like an hour, like 2 hours, and then we will head to the Mint. And Tam will kind of peel off by himself and go to the Arcanium. Amazing.
Not even a 5-minute walk from Cavi's.
Awesome.
As you arrive, the Arcanium, as I've described, is a large white building with a round top. It seems to be mostly octagonal shaped, with kind of a very finely cut marble stone steps leading up to the front door, which is open.
Okay. Tam will head inside and look for a librarian.
So what you see is a room that is octagonal, just like the outside, and a counter with at the moment, a woman with dark brown hair that's pulled up into a bun behind her head. And as you enter, she says, "Welcome to the Augur City Arcanium. How may I help you?"
Hi. Are you the person that I talked to help me find some information?
Do you require access to the libraries?
That would be that would be preferable. I would love that.
Tam, you watch as this woman pulls a large tome out from underneath the counter and slumps it open. And then as she opens it, she pulls out a quill.
Are there books already?
No, you don't
No?
see. There's no shelves in here. This is a plain
Oh my
white
God.
octagonal room. And she says, "May I have your name?" And then she pulls the quill out to you, like to sign your name.
Tam? My name is Tam?
She,
Tam is like a little overwhelmed by this experience.
she like gestures to the book where you see there are all sorts of signatures in this book, but they're all blurry. You can't make any of them out.
Oh, it's like that. It was like that when I signed into the Marigard.
Yeah, similar enchantment.
Do I get
the vibe?
Do I get the sense that this is a book that it like the Marigard? Is this do I get the sense that this is a book that wants me to write my true name in it, or is Tam fine?
You don't know.
That's distressing.
I mean, the anxiety in you might say to write your true name, but you don't know if there's any enforcement there.
I think there has been. I don't know if Tam is up to tricks enough about that. Tam doesn't have proficiency in deception, so I think Tam is just going to write Tam, but not for any reason of feeling like he's being deceived. It's just that's what he calls himself.
Okay.
He does not write Temerity Golden Horn.
So you write Tam.
He writes Tam.
When
Yeah.
it's clear that you have stopped writing, the woman takes the quill from your hands, closes the book, and she says, "Please treat the library with respect, and if you require aid, ask for the librarian." And she gestures to her left, and what was not there a moment ago, you see is a round door. Must be 10 feet high.
This is just like the academy. Wow. He strolls through.
Okay, you enter the Arcanium's library, and this is what it looks like. This image is just a slice, but the entire room is massive and round and seems to spiral on endlessly. There are so many shelves in here, and they seem to reach impossibly high.
This looks like a library. I think Tam kind of takes a deep breath because he's not been around a library like this, but he sure has been around libraries a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he feels a little bit of old anxiety about that. Books, he likes books. He's a lore bard for a reason. He likes stories more than he likes books. Books are kind of intimidating to him.
As you enter this room, real quick, roll me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Okay, with a natural 20, firstly, you do spot there are a semblance of organization to these shelves, but it's not the sort of organization you would expect. There are titles of organization such as impactful, aspiration, motivation, and then there's one that's just fiction. And that seems like a massive section. But beyond that, you see...
Very big title, yeah.
You see all sorts of these silhouettes sitting at tables or milling about between the shelves. And they almost dodge your perceptions, as though you wouldn't see them unless you were looking extremely closely. When you do see one particularly close to you, you investigate. It looks like a person, but they're mostly ethereal.
Like a ghost.
Well, you don't get any sense of undead. They just are extremely hard to see. They're very ethereal.
What are they doing? Are they, like, reshelving the books?
No. Some of them look as though they are seated at tables reading books. Some of them are sifting through the shelves looking for tomes of whatever kind. Some of them look as though they're just walking through the Arcanium.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I'm, like, on another... do I get the sense that I'm on, like, another plane right now? Or
roll
these,
Arcana.
like, the other people that are, like, here? Because that's cool as fuck.
With a 19, you definitely get the impression you are in a place that is either on multiple planes or in between the planes. And these individuals are likely the shadows or visages of other people on other mirror planes.
That's so cool. Tam does not intend to be here for very long, but Tam being Tam is just going to, like, kind of sit with that realization and look around and appreciate it. Interestingly, I think this is very Tam realization, is that, like, the thing that he is interested in is noticing the spirits and being like, oh wow, lots of people, like, look at this cool place that I'm in, and is sort of more intrigued by that than the actual books. But he did come here for a reason. So once he's done sort of, like, quietly admiring and just sort of watching the spirits and, like, seeing what they're reading and things like that, he is going to kind of look around it and say, is there a librarian somewhere?
As soon as you say that, you hear... It sounds incredibly soft-footed, but at the same time it also sounds incredibly heavy and enormous. You cannot help but feel the hairs on the back of your neck raise, and when you turn and look, you are greeted by two massive red eyes nestled into a black face. as an enormous fox looms over you, standing atop the shelves. And as it looks down at you, you hear, in your mind, not out loud, "You require a librarian."
Tam fully gasps. And is kind of a little frightened and definitely surprised. But then, kind of looking over, it's clear that the look in his eyes is like just awe. And he says, "Oh, wow. Hi. Hi, I'm Tam. Yes. Do you happen do you happen to have any information on why a god might not talk to someone that they have clearly chosen?"
There's a moment's pause, and then you hear in your mind, "You may call me Hushen.
Nice to meet you, Hushen.
I am keeper of the tomes. I do not have your answers. I can only help you find them."
Do you know where I might start looking? My dad says maybe something on Devas or
Roll me a
Avatars?
D100.
Okay. So I shall.
79. Okay. Okay. One moment. Alright, hold on a second. Several tomes suddenly float, as if out of nowhere. And as they float down to you, Hushen doesn't say anything, but they float in front of you as if waiting for you to accept them.
Tam will take them. Thank you so much. I imagine this isn't the kind of library where I can check out books, right? Do I just have to come here to read them?
No tome can leave this room.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to read them all right now. I don't have too much time, but if I'm okay to come back, I'll come back. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. The books you've received. The first one is titled Heavenly Hosts, The Celestials of the Multiverse. The next one is Divine Beings and an Explorer's Guide to Celestials. And the last one is just called Ascendant Realms.
Interesting. I think I'm going to look at that first one first, the Divine Beings book.
That's the second one.
Oh, it's the second one. We'll do that one. I think
Okay.
Ham will be interested in anything that says Explorer on it. His very scientific method of choosing the correct book. And he's gonna look. He's going to. I know he can't really set a timer for himself here, but he's going to sort of like try to not spend too long because he did say he'd be back in 2 hours, and he's just gonna look through. Spend maybe 40 minutes or so looking through this first tome to see if there's anything related to Deva or in relation to basically Sigona's problem.
So you're okay. So in this book, literally divine beings, you do find an entry about devas, and as you're reading, you learn a couple things. You learn that devas often appear as tall, humanoid figures with radiant, glowing skin and generally large, graceful wings. Their features are often described as perfect and unearthly, radiating an aura of calm and authority. Their eyes might glow with a soft light, and their entire presence reflects their divine nature. Some versions of them depict them with silver or golden hair and robes that flow like light, or even armor that shimmers with celestial energy. What you learn is that they generally act as emissaries of the gods, carrying out divine missions across the multiverse. Their tasks generally include delivering messages from gods to mortals, guiding lost souls or helping quote-unquote righteous individuals in times of need, protecting sacred places or relics, and fighting opposing creatures, ones that are adverse to their divine entity. Their alignment is almost always matching that of the entity that is, their domain. So
Sure.
a Deva of Nier would likely be chaotic and unpredictable, but not good or evil.
Sure. Do I get any sense that a Deva would mark someone, or is that like only a thing that a god can do?
Um, Roll me investigation.
I'm not rolling good now. 9. Oh, can I add guidance? Or I didn't do that at the beginning, so maybe not.
That's fine. You can add guidance.
I always forget that Tam has it. Just a 1. 10.
A 10. What you learn is that a Deva doesn't really have will of their own.
Okay.
They have to act within what the god instructs them to do. So if a Deva did mark Sagona, or if a Deva would mark anyone, they didn't do it of their own volition.
Okay.
So likely a Deva wouldn't be the entity to do that.
But could a Deva have saved Sagona from the waves, though? Maybe?
Probably not. That's not really something a Deva is capable of. With that investigation, you don't know what entity could have, but you're pretty sure it wasn't a Deva.
Okay. The other thing that my dad mentioned was avatars, I think. So I'm gonna look up, see in this book, see if there's anything about that.
Sure. Roll me another investigation.
I'm gonna guidance this one too. It's a little better. Ooh, 17.
17. Okay. What does Tam already know about avatars, if anything?
I don't know. I the player don't know anything, so I'm not sure what Tam knows.
Then
he was a student of Arcana and is a cleric, so maybe something, but I don't know.
Okay. What you do know is an avatar is a physical manifestation of a god or other divine entity. It's a way for that deity to interact with the material world directly. Otherwise, they would be breaking rules set forth for them, generally by Aegir, who is basically the keeper of the gods, the god of time, and also the cosmic serpent. He's an enormous, difficult to understand god who seems neutral in all things, except for those who break the rules of divinity.
Okay.
What the book tells you, an avatar is not the full essence of the deity, but a fraction of their power and presence. This allows the god to act in the world without exposing their full divine essence, which could be overwhelming or dangerous. The avatar embodies the god's personality, motives, and power. It is a way for the god to enhance their perceptions within the mortal world without breaking the rules. While immensely powerful compared to most mortals, an avatar is far weaker than the full god. It still possesses significant magical power and often mirrors the god's portfolio. Whether or not they can act on it is kind of up to each individual avatar. The avatar does not have access to the full divine knowledge or the omniscience if the god has it, but it can still perform great feats and will generally act in the god's will. An avatar could absolutely mark a mortal or a god for whatever purpose, whether that mark is a prophecy or a warning or purpose. And there's no real way to know without communing with them.
So here's a big important question that where Tam's mind immediately was, because as soon as he reads the line about they usually embody their god's personality,
Mm-hmm.
does an avatar always know that they are one?
Yes.
So it's not like Sagona could have been an avatar this whole time and just like didn't know
No,
it.
no way. You know that for a
Okay.
fact.
Okay. Because Tam for a second like got really excited. It was like, what if my friend is a god actually? Because, you know, it wouldn't be breaking the rules. It would be breaking the rules to talk to her, I guess. Um, okay, so it's not that. But an avatar could have marked it. So a marking, okay, is there anything about, I don't know if it would be in this book. Is there anything about like what a mark could mean? Um, like if
Okay.
you're marked by a god, because you said it could be a prophecy, it could be something else. It doesn't necessarily mean that like Sagona was like marked as Nir's champion necessarily.
Uh, okay, hold on. Hold on, I'm skimming my notes real quick.
Lower quest.
Okay, roll me another investigation.
Okay. 18.
18. Okay. There's a number of reasons why a god or a god's avatar might mark a follower. The first one, and the one that seems to be the most optimistic, is a chosen champion or a chosen servant. Another is it's a warning or a reminder of the god's power. Another would be a prophecy or destiny. Another is protection. With that investigation, you see there are all sorts of descriptions of the various marks and what they might look like and how they might interact. One that sticks out to you with that investigation is a marking of fate.
A marking of fate.
The mark could
What
indicate...
What does that mean?
The mark could indicate that the individual is fated to play a pivotal role in future events, whether they are aware of it or not. The mark could become a symbol of their destiny, or as an omen of things that will happen to them.
So, if they are pivotal in some way, it would behoove the god for that person to not, for example, drown in a storm while they're going to a place.
That thought comes to mind, yes.
Okay. So it means from that Tam I think would probably conclude that that maybe means that Sagona is destined to play some pivotal role, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Nir, like, do I get a sense that because she was marked by Nir, she is pivotal to Nir in some way?
Well, I will say, based on what you're seeing and the marks that are explained in this book, there might be something connecting that mark somewhere else. That mark might have multiple meanings.
What do you mean multiple meanings?
Like, it
that are
doesn't
not
just
related?
look like a symbol of Nir. Like, it might be something else.
Oh, it might be something else. It might not be Nir at all.
It is absolutely a symbol of Nir, but there is more to it than just the religious marking of Nir.
Interesting. Do I have enough time to find a book specifically about marks of fate?
You could try. You can ask.
Okay, I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask the librarian if there are marks of fate in particular. Adventurers that have been marked in this way, and especially if there's something from.
Okay. Hold on a minute.
Also, is there parchment and quills or anything around? Is there stuff to take notes on by any
Oh,
chance?
yes, all over the place.
Great. I'm going to write a bunch of notes, and I'm going to literally copy out a passage from one of these books about Marks of Fate.
Okay. One moment. As we dive into the books that are within the Arcanium, Hushen does slide you a tome. That just says Omens and Fates on the title.
Omens and Fates. That seems very relevant.
Yep.
Uh, he's going to look up marks of fate and what they can mean and what the various meanings might be for someone marked by one. And especially if there's anything intersecting near. If there's like an index that says anything about near, that would be great.
There is an index for almost every god. Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Fantastic. Come on, Tam, keep rolling well. That's a 10, I'm gonna add guidance.
Okay.
12.
12. This book is dense. There's lots of little illustrations, but the text itself looks like it was written by a very fine copperplate hand. And the lettering's all very compact, and it takes you some time to actually get into it. And then as you're looking through the book, a title catches your eye. It is The Prophecy of the Stormborn.
Oh my god! What does it say?
From the depths where light does not reach, the storm claimed one who should have been lost. Beneath the crashing waves, they were pulled from death's grip, reborn in the heart of the tempest. Marked by lightning, chosen by thunder, they shall rise with the tide and stand with the wind. But beware the rising sea, for the storm that saves can also destroy. And as the skies darken once more, the drowned shall walk a path between water and sky. They alone can calm the maelstrom or unleash its fury upon the world. As the ocean's wrath grows, so too shall their fate stir. For in the storm's eye lies the power to reshape the world, or sink it beneath the waves.
Holy shit.
That is the prophecy, as it says in the book.
Is it tagged with, like, has anyone fulfilled it yet? Is that clear from it?
You don't see anything about that for any of the prophecies or myths or legends in this book.
All right, I'm going to fully write down everything that you just said.
Okay.
And there's nothing about like where the prophecy might have come from or something like that.
No, there's no origins. The author seems to have some flavoring about where they heard the stories from, and this one, it sounds like he describes it as a sunken tavern outside the coasts of Peripateia.
Okay. I mean, give a bard a quest to look for a story. Tam is all about that. Okay. Prophecy of the Stormborn. Tam is very excited. He has what he wants. He is going to... He doesn't know where to put the books back on the shelf, so he's going to say, Shen, thank you very much for your help and your information. I have these books for you again.
You are
Thanks.
welcome. You have spent an hour and 42 minutes in the Arcanium.
You are just full of hugely useful information.
That is my
thanks, sir.
duty.
You're very good at it. Bye!
As you say goodbye, the fox suddenly darts away over the shelves. And the books you watch as they fly down the alleys, like vanishing into their various locations, put away telekinetically.
Incredible. Tam is going to leave the library and think, well, he's terrifying. I'm glad he's on my side.
Who do you say that to?
He's thinking it to himself, and Emily is laughing about imagine not being in a fight with the library with the terrifying librarian.
Yeah. So you make your way out of the Arcanium. As you leave, the concierge is still there, and she says, "Thank you for visiting the Augur City Arcanium. A
Thank
pleasant
you very much.
day, Tam." And she shuts the
Pleasant
book.
day. Bye. He will race back to Cavies.
Okay.
How drunk is Sagona right now?
Uh,
Pleasantly?
she's buzzed. She's just started, basically.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna come up to her and say, I think I have some news for you. It
Uh,
might be a little distracting from the mission. Uh, do you want me to give it to you now or later?
how distracting do you mean? Like,
Um, it's about your mark.
okay. Let's save that for after then. Aye.
Okay. I went to the library. I think I found out something important.
You went to. Alright. Cool. I mean, yeah, tell me about it afterward when we're not,
Okay.
getting our nose deep in trouble.
Okay. He's gonna hug her.
Ah,
You're you're really special.
I know. But she hugs you
Yeah.
back. She hugs you back much more tenderly than her voice would convey.
Amazing. This is my BFF. She's important to the future of the world, and Tam was already proud to know her. But is even I think he's sort of like, I'm being hugged by the Stormborn.
Are you alright? You're all shaky.
I'm good. I'm fine. You're my friend.
Aye. You're my friend too.
Yep. Yep. Let's go to the mint.
Okay. And she just like the others of the group are all like just there watching this all happen. And Hiram just goes, whatever.
This is pretty normal behavior for Tam. She's
Yeah,
really
no
just
one
like,
seems to be
"Chill."
too surprised. Your party follows you out of Cavies into Augur City proper.
On we go to the mint.
Okay, so as you make your way out towards Castletown, um, which you're leaving the Windstar district, which is not super close to where it is you're going, but mostly because you don't know exactly where you're going.
Sure.
In order to find the mint, you're pretty sure you're going to have to get pretty close to the Golden Keep, pretty deep into the actual depths of Nobletown.
Hmm.
As you're heading that way,
Does that seem like it might be a difficulty with us with the Gold's Watch?
uh, that's a good question. You're not doing anything wrong, but you're also fairly certain if you're spectated, it might be a little sticky to do your investigations proper.
Okay. I would know that beforehand.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask um if Annabella, sorry, it's been a minute. This NPC, the artificer NPC.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask if
Annabelle
she wants
Craver, yeah.
Annabelle Kraber. I want to ask if she wants to come with us for the scouting mission.
Oh,
Because they know, they maybe won't be able to see if we do kind of a stealth. If I'm thinking if we get kind of close enough to the place, kind of before we get to before we get to the Golden Keep, everybody can come. But if the people that are like good at stealth want to kind of just like try to split up and kind of just wander around like close by, like we kind of did before when we were on that stakeout mission, Tam can disguise himself. Um, Skalna can just be a rogue and not be seen. But I mean, Annabelle's kind of a free agent. She can just come with us if she wants to. and no one would look twice at her, theoretically.
Annabelle considers what you said, and she says, I'm a free agent right now, but if they see me and they know that I'm hanging around cavies, they
That's
might
true.
start asking questions.
That's true. And we don't, that's a good point. Okay, we'll do it ourselves. I just figured, it might be useful, but I take your point.
It's best to err on the side of caution, you know?
Better. Absolutely.
She shrugs and apologizes.
No, you don't need to apologize. It's a good point. You're smart. Um, okay. So he will kind of talk to his team the rest of the plan and say, look, I think we should all go, but maybe kind of not all together. And the people that can hide should should hide. Does that seem okay?
Wash looks over at Skolna and then at you, and Wash says, You mean us? Yes?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you three? What is your plan?
I'm gonna I'm gonna be in disguise. Um, I'm still wearing my Marigard colors though, right?
Yeah, you don't
Uh,
really have other clothes.
yeah, is there a way that I could borrow like some art? Is that
You could
possible?
pick, you could buy clothes.
Yeah,
You can
could I just
remove
like
your armor and just buy casual
yeah.
clothes.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up yeah, I'm just gonna get a set of like walking around clothes. I know that's gonna affect my AC. Um
Yeah, it'll remove your armor. I mean, let's
um
see. Your dex right now is a 3, so if you're just wearing comfortable clothes like traveler's clothes, your AC will be 13.
yep. I think that's what I'm gonna do, honestly, so I can disguise myself more effectively. Um is there a way that I can stick Soul Singer in like a pack?
Do you have a bag of holding?
We have not bought one yet. We have not bought one yet
Soul Singer,
because
you can put Soul Singer in a backpack, but then Soul Singer will not be available for your use, like without a whole action of pulling her out of the bag.
I think that's better. I would rather have Soul Singer on me. Um, and I think like I don't anticipate that we're gonna get into a fight in the middle of the mint, but I would prefer to have. I mean, I don't think. Oh, that's right. That is a question I had for you. We did finally get paid
Mm-hmm.
because Tam finally undid the stuff that he did. But we did get paid. How much did we get paid? Can we pick up a bag of holding? I don't know if we have enough.
Each of you received, so every member of your party received 100 gold.
Okay,
Uh,
rad. Is that enough for a bag of holding?
you know a bag of holding typically runs about 350 gold pieces.
Okay. I'm going to pull the group to see if like Tam will put like 70 gold toward the whole thing if other people are okay with buying that item for the group.
Um, Sagona basically immediately, when you ask for it, she's just like, yeah, all right, and she gives you 70 gold. Wash seems a little confused, but does. Um, Hiram does not seem keen to part with the gold. He basically is like, this is our first payment in a while.
That's true. That's true. It just means that I would be able to have weaponry on me more easily but also be disguised, which I would appreciate. Um,
Hiram shrugs and he says, people here are armed.
people, well, that's true. Okay. We will get one the next time we get paid. Is that okay?
Hmm.
All right. I will give the 70 gold back to my party members.
Okay.
Um, but hopefully it won't all be spent. But this is like a new savings goal unlocked.
You do chuck your gold at things a lot.
Yeah, it is true. I sure do that. Um, usually without any mechanical other than Tam is not good with money. Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so he will.
Perhaps there's a reason some of
Yeah,
your party
right.
members are reluctant.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, hearing, I mean, he would literally go out and get it right this moment. But that's super fair. He is going to, hearing this and kind of without another option, he will just wear Soul Singer and hope that, like, and also his shield, because, like, he can just be, he can still look kind of like an armed
Okay.
person.
Uh, give me just a perception check.
Okay. Ugh.
8.
I don't know if I'm allowed to 8. Yeah.
So you look around. For the most part, people traveling in Augur City, you'll see a dagger, you'll see a short sword, a rapier, or like a mace hanging from people's belts. That's it.
Okay.
You won't really see like shields or armor, with the exception of guards or people who are clearly mercenaries.
Okay.
People are not walking around with shields and armor.
In which case, he will change into traveler's clothes. He will keep his rapier, but leave his shield.
You actually, when you're wearing traveler's clothes with a rapier, you look like a traveling merchant or a traveling, like, minstrel, basically, with your
Yeah,
loot
he
on your
will
back.
definitely. Yeah, he'll keep his loot. He'll keep his fiddle, but get rid of. Okay, great, perfect. And he will cast Disguise Self to just look like a, some fucking guy. But it's a little different than. It's always a little different than what he has done.
Okay. Sagona looks between you and Hiram and Skolna and Wash, and she says, "We can just see I'm in a holy order, can't we?
We can. What?
We could just say I'm on a holy task, a holy order,
Oh
divine
yeah,
mission.
that's true. I mean, that's true.
Cleric."
We totally can. We totally can. Absolutely.
She, like, takes the armband sash for the Merryguard and just tucks it away.
Okay, great.
And then she turns and looks at Hiram, who looks back at her, and he's like, "What?"
You can just, Hiram. You can just be a married. I mean, my worry is that they'll know who you are. But I wouldn't make you leave your armor behind.
"I'm not taking off my armor."
Yeah.
And Sagona's like, "No, that's fine, but the big old mark of the rose, that needs to go." And Hiram looks over at his shoulder, and he's like, "No." And he does remove the sash that marks him. The badge that he, like, his Merryguard badge is, like, on this red sash that he wears over his shoulder. He takes it off, and he puts it away, and he says, "I don't like it." Sagona's like, "Well, it's just for this."
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, Tam is also, not in his Merigard clothes and took off his mark also. And I imagine that the rogue and the monk have also done the same.
You haven't really seen... So Skolna doesn't seem to wear her mark on her.
Yeah, it's completely... That makes total sense to me. And does Wash.
Yeah, she wears it on, like, an amulet around her neck. But as soon as you said to be stealthy, she put it away.
Yeah, she'll tuck it into her. Yeah, cool, great. We are as spec for stealth as we're gonna get.
So, in that case, you and Hiram and Sagona, did not obviously Merryguard mercenaries, head over to the Castletown district with Skolna and Wash distant but being sneaky. Let me roll for them. Okay. And... okay. You lose track of them both.
Okay.
As you make your way into the richer district, into Castletown, you notice, firstly, the roads are much smoothly paved. The cobbles are, like, form fit to each other, and you see that each cobble has, like, mortar in between them, which is much higher quality than anything you've seen anywhere else in the town.
Interesting.
The strange kind of rumbling that you'd constantly hear in the rest of the town from carriages clattering their way over the uneven flagstones is gone. And instead, when you do hear a horse walking and wagon wheels turning, it's like a smooth, almost unsettling noise that you haven't heard for a long time until the last time you were in Coda City.
Interesting. Okay. There's like a wave of homesick.
Yeah. It's almost like a nostalgia, even. The next thing you notice is that the streets are wider here. There's much more room, and the alleys that are between buildings are much better lit. There are oil lanterns that seem to be hung every 10 or 15 feet on opposing sides of the streets, like they're staggered. And each oil lantern seems to actually emit quite a bit of light.
Interesting.
They all seem to be strategically placed, like, in front of every alley. So there is no, like, discrete place, it looks like, where a mugging would easily happen.
Sure. It's much safer than, for example, I can't remember what it's called. The place that there are literally no guards anymore.
The chapels, Eastern
The
chapels.
chapels, yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely not here. There are plenty of guards, and you do notice that they are guards, city guards. They are not Gold's Watch. They are actual city guards.
The kind that I like.
The kind that seem to be, like, you just get the impression of veterans. The guards that are here have been guards for a long time, and they can handle problems that arise quickly and efficiently by being reasonable people instead of beating people with truncheons and such.
Love that.
I mean, there are perks of living in the nicer side of town, it seems like. As you're walking through Castletown, you also notice that the street vendors that are on the streets here, they don't have, like, these long streaming lines of customers. Instead, you witness runners, people that are running up to the vendors, picking up something with an exchange of coin, and then running off with, like, crates of whatever it is the vendor is supplying.
Oh my gosh, DoorDash. There's
It's
DoorDash.
yeah, it's literally DoorDash. You see these supply runs of going to and from businesses, and it's these runners that kind of indicate to you where the actual businesses in Castletown are, and they're all discreetly marked. None of them are, like, blazing their business names on the side of their buildings. Instead, all of them seem to have, like, discreet. They look a little bit more than residential homes, except they're much wider, with high windows that are frosted. And you watch as one of these runners goes into a building, and coming from out that building, you smell ozone and magic and parchment coming from that particular building. And that immediately keys you in that the mint is probably not going to be obviously marked.
Interesting. Okay. Can I investigate the mark that I see from, like, the magical building? Is that, like, does it seem like that's some sort of magic shop? What kind of sign is there? What kind of mark is there?
What language do you speak?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, Infernal, and Primordial.
You do not recognize the mark. Let me see if any of your allies do. Okay,
Maybe
Hiram does
Dwarvish?
not.
Right?
It is
Right,
not
Dwarvish?
Dwarvish. Skola. Nope.
The buildings
Wash.
aren't even marked in common? That's wild.
They are not. You can roll an intelligence check to see if you can, or a history check. Roll me a history check to see if you recognize the language it's marked in, because it is not an uncommon language. It's just one you don't speak.
Can I guidance myself for this or not so much?
Sure, that's fine.
13.
It's an Gnomish.
What? Okay. Okay. Can I look around and see it? Are all of the buildings marked in Gnomish, or just this one?
All of them seem to have similar markings. The markings are discreetly placed. They're generally engraved into, like, the fine, like, woodwork around the doorways and such. They're not obvious markings. When you notice where they are, though, you generally have an idea where most of them are.
I look around. Do I see a lot of gnomes here? Does that, like, tell me that there's a lot of gnomes?
Not particularly.
Why would it be gnomish?
Roll. Okay, so when you ponder that question, roll me another history check.
Okay. This, like, founded by gnomes or something? Like, what?
22. Gnomish is known as the Tinkerer's language. However, Gnomish is also incredibly specific, both in point and also in legality. So, a lot of noble work and a lot of, especially in human settlements, a lot of like official business is written and conducted in Gnomish because there's no room for vagueness.
So it's like legalese, basically. It's like the
Basically,
legalese language. Okay,
not as much as Infernal is, but it's
sure,
up there.
yeah.
Also,
Okay,
many
so
people think it's
like,
bad juju to write all their stuff in Infernal.
yeah, I'm fair, honestly, fair. Um, so okay, so then do I get the sense that like, is it maybe like a noble's language then? Sort of
Yeah,
like this is sort of like what the nobles would speak. It's like the Latinate,
I mean,
like
people don't
teaching
generally
people,
speak Gnomish, uh,
right?
but
It
a
seems like
lot
it's
of
like
things
Latin
written are
in a
Gnomish.
way.
Yeah, it's like Latin,
It's like
except
Latin.
it's not
Okay.
dead.
It's like, yeah, sure. People, gnomes still speak it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Having a passable fluency in Gnomish is important for nobles, and you would know that with a 22.
interesting. Okay, this just got a little bit harder. Um, none of my
Ew.
party knows gnomish, and it's only a gnomish mark. It's not like there's not like a picture. There's not. I would have to like go and look in to see.
It's literally like the probably the owner's name and what it is, or like the organization, but it's in Gnomish. So it's just like a word or a few words.
But it's not like there's. It's not like a tavern where it would be like, oh, the queen and throne or something like that.
No,
It's
it doesn't
not.
appear as though these businesses are trying to advertise what they are to the common folk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this building that we're in now, there's magic in it,
You're not in it, you're in front of it.
but I can. But there's. What does it look like it sells?
Well, it has frosted windows and the door like closed in front of you, and you caught a whiff of lots of magical components and magic from within. Roll me an investigation check to see if you can determine what this building is.
Almost a 20, and then it was a 4.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
Something
If
magic.
I, yeah, I was. My Temerity's first thought was, can I find a scroll of comprehend languages? Because if this is a place that would sell scrolls, I mean, it would cut into our
That
money.
would be awfully convenient, wouldn't it?
It would be awfully convenient.
You do you poke your head in?
Yeah, I'm gonna poke my head in. Does this look like a kind of place that only sells components, or would?
It doesn't look like they sell anything. You see all sorts of these desks with individuals at work on them, and you see they have all sorts of these parts on silver platforms, and they are slowly, like some of them are grinding them down into powder, some of them are creating small objects out of it using entirely like magical apparatus. And as you peer in, um, no one seems to address you immediately, until suddenly one individual at a nearby desk is a human man with like he's like completely bald and glasses, and he looks up and he says, "Hi, what are you doing here?"
Sorry, just I saw that I sensed that there was magic, and I took a look. That's all.
Right then, off you go.
Yep. Do I get the sense that they were like grinding down magical components? This is like a magical components factory.
It's something like that. They are definitely doing something with magical components.
Got it. Okay. Tam does not stick around to find out. Um. Gosh.
Let's see. Roll me a performance check as you're kind of just loitering.
Okay. $17.
Okay, no one bothers you.
Great. This is like, Tam's not great at deception. He is good at performance.
Sure.
Um, all right. He will relay this information to the rest of his group and say, okay, well, everything is in Gnomish.
Okay.
We've hit a snag. Everything is in Gnomish.
Sigona like blinks and she says, "What you mean everything's in Gnomish?"
All this little marking here, it's Gnomish. because the fancy people on the fancy side of town all learn Gnomish, and because it's very specific, and it seems like the businesses here are very specific. So looking for the mint is not going to just be, we stroll up and we find it and there's a little coin on the sign. And I don't think
Okay.
anybody here knows Gnomish, right?
No.
Cool. So we're gonna have to find this building without visible markers.
Well, we're looking for a mint, right? Like, that can't be that hard to find. It'd be like a big
Hopefully not.
press, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it's probably gonna be a bigger building and maybe looking like a, what do we think? More like a vault than a factory.
Oh,
Yeah?
and it would have a stack, wouldn't it? Do like smoke billowing from it if it's in
Yeah,
business?
like a foundry, maybe, right?
I don't know. I've never. She like eventually shrugs and she says, "It's not the sort of material I worked with when I was back home. Let's see what we can find. Maybe ask the right people.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Maybe catch a runner."
Maybe. Yeah. Sure, that's a good idea. I'm gonna look at the runners. Are the runners mostly delivering food places, or do they seem to be delivering other stuff?
They seem to be going to all sorts of different vendors for all sorts of different things. You see, one of them goes to a news sheet stands, is like grabs like a big stack of them, and is like loading them into his crate. Uh, and then begins to head off in another direction. Like,
The person at the news sheet stand.
okay,
Does this person seem like they are also super high class?
no, no, they
They're
do
just
not.
selling they're just
They
selling
seem
news
like
sheets?
a merchant. They're a dwarf with like a very, very curly beard and short hair.
A
And they're
dwarf.
wearing like a
Great.
vest with like
I'm
brass
gonna roll up
buttons.
with my dwarf buddy. um,
All right,
and I'm
hey
gonna
there, can I get into your news sheet then?
uh actually I have a question for you.
Oh, all right, I'd be happy to give you what I can.
We don't know Gnomish. Is there You wouldn't happen to know where the mint is, would you?
The Golden Press.
Yes.
Oh, it's 2 blocks down this way. You head down to the middle building in the middle of the block. You can't miss it. Double doors.
Can't miss it, double doors. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Oh, no problem. Gratitude's best shown with a coin, if you know what I'm saying.
it. Say again?
Gratitude is best shown with a coin,
Oh,
if you
yeah,
don't mind.
absolutely. Yeah, I'll take a new sheet.
Perfect. And he passes you one.
What is it? How much is it? And what does it say?
Okay. Hold on. Let me roll. Okay. It is 2 silver for the news sheet.
Okay.
There's all sorts of little details on this news sheet. Tensions rise in Everfrost over mineral riches. The prices of dragon scales soar. Mysterious tempest seems to devour coastal village, but it's returned. It's sorcerer's wind sweeps the plains. Then the next headline is Magic and Mercenaries for Hire. Shieldmaster Tordun, legendary warrior seeking adventurers to escort through the abyssal crags. And then the next one, Lord Blackstaff's ball shocks nobility. There's lots of little headlines that none of them seem
Mostly
particularly.
gossip.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Mostly gossip. He will fold it and tuck it, into his pants.
they seem
That's,
amusing reads, but nothing
yeah,
helpful.
he'll read it. He'll amuse himself with that later. And then we'll follow the directions to go to the mint.
Okay. As you head to the Mint, the building is as described. And it is as you surmised, this building is well hidden amongst the rest of them, but now that you know what you're looking for, it is a large brick and wood front building that has two enormous doors with gnomish lettering over them that you imagine indicates that it's the Mint.
That is the Mint, yes.
There are no windows on this building.
Yeah, checks out. Okay. This is player refresher. I can't remember. I'm looking at my notes. Is there a specific thing that we're looking for, or are we just sort of staking it out to see if we're staking to see if there's like runner? We want to watch the runners and see if Riverine is coming in. Yeah.
So what you do at the Mint is kind of up to you. Your orders were to go see if there's fuckery about, basically. Investigate the Mint and see if there's anything odd or if there is a strange shipment going in and out.
Okay. I think I'm gonna ask our sneaky people, Skolna and Wash, to check out the runners in particular and see if there's anything. See if anyone is going, like, look around, Skullnet maybe in particular, if there's like a back door. Like, what are the weird ways to get in and they're not the front door?
Okay.
If there are any.
It doesn't take Skolna long. About 15 minutes later, she returns, and she nods, gesturing back around. Not the alley behind the building, but an alley that's like 2 buildings down, Skolna indicates is away into the back of the Mint.
Okay. Can she and Wash maybe stay out there and see if there's anything, and if anything, like any packages that look like they might be Reverine.
Okay. What are you guys doing in the meantime?
In the meantime, I think the rest of us are just gonna all go in and look around, and see if anything looks weird.
Okay. One moment. Okay. Once you enter the building, you see on common, like right in front of you, there's a broad counter that seems to divide like this lobby from the rest of the building, and you see in big letters the Royal Imperial Mint of Aurelia. It's kind of this grand vaulted hall with columns carved from obsidian and streaked with veins of must be silver. The floor is made from gleaming mosaic tiles that depict swirling patterns of coins and celestial symbols. And each step as you walk in this building echoes with a faint metallic ring, as though even the ground reveres the power of money.
Yep,
On top of that, the air in here smells of heated metal. Like, it's this acrid, molten gold smell. But roll me a perception check.
I would like to also note that Tam has taken out a quill and some parchment and is taking notes about nothing, like, if you would read it, it's nothing super important, but it's like he's writing flowery descriptions of like the scent of gold in the air and the way that the tiles kind of catch the light, and like what the like descriptors of what the bank looks like, because his cover story here is he is a bard. He wants to write about money as a source of power, so he's coming to the Mint.
Okay. As you're kind of walking about, you hear... Yeah, let me get that perception first. Oh,
22.
Okay. Above all of the smells of heated metal and parchment, you kind of catch the scent of salt on the air,
Okay.
which is a little strange to you. But as you're looking around this main hall and writing all these flowery descriptions, you see these enormous iron doors behind a gate from you. You see, like, in common, smelting and forging at the top. You hear gigantic furnaces and this constant of what must be the presses creating coins. And you can see that there are various like dwarven and human and gnomish and halfling and half-orc, all sorts of workers that seem to be passing in and out of that room. And they're all wearing these thick leathers. And they all have like these thick goggles over their faces. And you can see also, now that you're looking around, on the high vaults in this room, you see there are mages, literally casters, that are leaning over the railing and just watching what's going on in this building. Underneath them, along the side chambers, you see that there are offices filled with clerks and accountants that seem to be working diligently, tallying ledgers, weighing bags of coins, and just inspecting coins that have gone, like, over their desks. Each window in front of these offices, and also the windows, like, above the mages that are on the second tier, they glow with a faint blue light. And your proficiency in Arcana tells you that's a warding spell that prevents teleportation or illusory disguises.
Oh, okay. So disguise self. In which case, I'll drop disguise self.
Yeah, you get the impression with that perception check, if they had spent like, if you had gotten any farther in the building, you might have gotten in trouble because you were clearly losing yourself.
Yep, I'll drop disguise self.
Nice save on that perception check. And then you see there are massive doors closer to you, but they're shut. And each of these doors looks like they must weigh multiple tons. Each of them is like black iron, and they have these intricate locks that looks like, maybe that's where they keep all the vaulted currency that's to be dealt with later. That's what you see as you've entered the royal Vault of Aurelia, the mint of the city. Seems pretty secure.
Do I have any sense about that salt smell and like what that might be coming from?
That's weird to you. You have no idea where that's coming from. You get the impression it's coming from the hall down towards those machines and that noise you're hearing, but you don't know what it is.
Sagona as a dwarf, I mean, I know she didn't really work with it, but like, I'm gonna just kind of murmur to her about that. Like, do you smell the salt? Why would there be salt in like a smithy melting place?
Sagona shrugs and she says, "Oh, well, it could be, locks to keep the metal pure, but I don't think you need that for gold or silver or even copper.
Do you need it for withering?
I don't know. I've never worked with withering."
Can I look at the mages? What do I think the mages are?
What do you mean?
Like, if it seems like they're mostly just watching, like, do I get the sense that they're there to sort of like jump in if there is an accident? Do I get a sense that they're like overseers?
Oh, roll an insight check.
Can I guidance this too?
Sure.
17. More than that. Hang on, more than that.
It's a 19.
20,
plus 3 is 22.
Yeah,
Their security.
Mm-hmm.
They both look like they're watching you as you've entered. They also look like they're watching the clerks and those doing their jobs in the building. They look like they're basically tracking to make sure there's no signs of forgery or theft. They look pretty alert. They don't look particularly nice.
Interesting that they're all mages. They're all casters. That's fascinating. Okay. The salt smell. I mean, that's circumstantial. But I also don't want to get us in trouble too much. Is there anyone that doesn't look particularly like busy? Is everyone what are people wait? Is it like the DMV? Are people waiting and stuff?
There are a number of concierges and counters where there are customers that look like they're there. And you do see there is one counter that's empty, and there is an elven individual He's got long black hair that's pulled back high on his head, and when he sees you looking about, he says, "Hello, may I be of service?"
You you can, but it might not be in kind of a usual way, and so if you don't have time to talk, understand. Um, I'm a bard, and I'm working on kind of like a I don't know yet if it's going to be a poem or a song, but it involves sort of the uses and the power of me. And I figured I should come to the source of its creation to kind of, get inspiration. So I wondered if I could maybe talk to you about what it's like to work with money and to smelt it and to make it, if
As
you
you're
have time.
as you're talking to this concierge, and you begin like weaving this story, roll me an insight check.
Sure. Natural 20, 25.
Okay, with a natural 20, you suddenly become very much convinced this is the wrong way to go about this. This guy seems so uninterested in helping you. He's like waiting for you to finish talking, and he's like, "We don't really have time for such a thing. I bid you a good day."
Okay. Thanks. I appreciate it. Is there anyone that might be interested in talking to me?
Frankly, no. And he's like
Okay.
not even looking up at you now as he's like shifting through papers on his desk.
Okay. I'll just take my notes then. Appreciate it.
Uh, he glances up at you as you're like walking away. Uh, roll me a perception check.
Am I being tracked? 19.
With a 19, you see him pick up a small blue stone off the counter and quietly say something into it.
Sure. Okay. In which case, not wishing to sort of like, listen, Tam has one trick.
Uh-huh.
um, he not wishing to sort of like unduly cause distress in people so we don't get like fully in trouble. He is going to sort of like keep up the pretense for 2 or 3 more minutes. He's gonna like look around. He's gonna make some, like notes. I imagine that there's nothing a whole lot else that I can kind of gather, and he's gonna kind of hope that Skolna and Wash have had better luck, and is gonna take
Roll
a couple
real
notes
quick.
and. Mhm.
Roll me a investigation check while you're making these notes.
Can I guidance this one too?
Sure, why not?
Awesome. Not very good. So, yeah, that's
A
like a
10.
10.
Okay. You spot a familiar face
Oh my
because
gosh.
I rolled really poorly.
Kaizo?
No. Turning around, and his dark face and kind of frizzy, curly hair makes him stand out to you immediately. The gnome Marcos Eniga
Oh my god.
steps away from the counter, and you see he has like a small pouch in his hands, and he's like tucking it into his belt as he begins to make his way out of the mint.
Okay, that's good. We have some information. uh, Tam will clock that and will not approach him because Eniga does not know, as far as Tam knows, Eniga does not know that we. So he will just stroll on out and kind of look around first and kind of, you know, go a little bit away from the building. And that.
Okay. Skolna appears to be nearby.
Great.
You see that she has clocked Eniga as well. She kind of glances over at you and then tips her head to him.
Do you think we should follow him?
She shrugs.
Or just report that he was here?
When she, like, you ask that, she looks at you and she says, "What did he get? Do you know what he got?"
No, I don't know what he got.
Skolna, like, suddenly darts after Marcos, quiet as a cat.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on her.
For what? Dex? What are you enhancing?
So yeah, Dex.
Okay. It's an advantage. Okay, that became a natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Rolling a d8. And then... Okay. You watch as Skolna darts up right next to Marcos. You suddenly hear, like, a strange noise come from the ground to Marcos's left. It sounded like like a strange, like a,
Thaumaturgy.
a cat, like, struggling or something. And you
Sure.
watch as the gnome, Marcos, turns and looks really sharply. And in that moment, Skolna ducks down. You don't even see her make a move. And then she turns around and is heading to the side of the street, like completely away from Marcos. And you see Marcos is still looking at that direction, and then he like squints, and you hear him say, "Who goes there?"
Yeah, we're just gonna keep walking. I'm gonna assume that Skolna got what she needed, and we're gonna just keep going away.
Okay.
He finds out that he's been.
It doesn't take long before Skolna catches up to you. And maybe like a minute and a half later, Skolna's next to you. She holds up in her hands a strange coin that is square in shape but has like a cross across the middle of it. And it is a strange Waverly blue color.
Is it Riverine?
It is Riverine.
Okay, that is what we need.
And as that being said, as soon as she says that, you become aware, or she didn't say that, as she's holding it out to you. Do you take it from
her? No, I let her keep it, and I kind of nod for her.
Okay. She tucks it away, and in that moment, an individual makes himself known. It's the concierge from the front desk.
Okay.
I'm afraid there has been a problem. And he like looks at your group, all of you together, like just maybe a couple blocks away from the Mint.
Mm-hmm.
A problem that must be resolved immediately.
Okay.
Roll me an insight check.
Yeah. Alright, my cat has decided to make this difficult. Oh my gosh. Baby, no. 11.
With an 11? Let me see. He rolled a 9. He is performing the somatics for a hostile spell.
Okay. Okay.
It is this moment.
Yep.
We.
I don't have counterspell. Yet.
Okay.
Is this like an initiative situation?
This is initiative.
Okay, this is initiative. And we're in the literal center of...
You're in the center of a street. You don't see any guards in this immediate block.
Okay. I mean, I don't think there's anything that I can do about that. If he's like, I can't counterspell it. I don't think I can cast anything before he casts it unless I roll initiative.
So because you beat his stealth, his sleight of hand, you're aware he's about to cast a hostile spell. So it's not a surprise. But that's
okay,
that's it.
It's not a surprise, but it's not that. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna. All right, I think I'm just. If there's anything that it occurs to me other than roll initiative.
Yeah, initiative is happening, I'm afraid.
Cool. 13.
13. The instant that happens, They seem to be aware somehow that Skolna got her hand on something.
Okay.
And a fight is beginning. As it does. Hold on, which one is this? Okay, so jumping.
Can I roll an insight? Do I think, or do I assume that it's everybody?
What do you mean?
Like, this guy clocked us.
Uh-huh.
I don't. Do I have a sense that like it's the coin that alerted this guy, or was he just watching us?
You don't know, I'm afraid.
Okay.
You can't tell from this moment.
Okay.
It is... Oh, why are you stupid like this? Okay. It's the top of the order, and revealing itself from a rooftop is someone who is not in guard armor or Gold's Watch armor. As they creep over the edge of the rooftop, they throw a sharp object. You watch as a dagger soars through the air towards Wash. Wash.
Who catches it? Because she's a monk.
Wash does see it coming. She will deflect missiles. Let me roll a d10. Okay. She does take 1 point of damage. She decides to drop the dagger instead of spending a key point to throw it. And then this individual throws another one. Which she throws at somebody else, but it misses.
Okay, great.
It's now Wash's turn. Wash glances over at you and she says, "We fight now, yes?"
I think so. I don't think we have a choice.
Okay, and she
Try to be
darts.
quiet. Try to be stealthy. And he's going to look specifically at Sagona. Try to be stealthy. We don't want guards coming.
She rolls her eyes as Wash darts forward. Wash gets into melee with this individual. Okay. Let me just do the math real quick. Whipping out from her back, a quarterstaff suddenly flies into her hands. Jump to bottom. Okay. That's a hit. She's going to try... I'll just do this. You suddenly hear this boom as the quarterstaff just bounces off this elven individual's face. And she will follow up with a flurry of blows. Oh, she has 2 attacks. She'll do it again. Second one misses. But then she will follow it up with a flurry of blows. That just hits. And then the second one definitely hits. So.
Hell yeah. Go Wash. Go Wash.
Over the next 2 attacks, she deals 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And then that's Wash's turn. She's in melee with him. Another strange this individual, not guardsman, peers around a corner and dashes up. Is going to run up to Skolna and make a few attacks. Skolna scowls as she's been caught out in the open, which is fair. That's not normally where she's out and about. That misses. I'll try again. That hits.
By how much can I dynamically deflect?
You could try. It was a 22.
I don't think.
You'd have to reduce it by 5.
Yeah, I don't think that'll do it. Oh, but I could cutting words. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cutting word.
Okay.
I forget that I have that feature. Okay, Bardic. I'm a D8 now. Hi, peep. That's an 8.
Okay.
Tam says, "Stay away from her."
distracted, looking over at you. You watch as the dagger attack misses wildly, and then they thrust forward with a rapier for a 24 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't. I can't. I've used my reaction.
Skolna takes 12 points of damage. It's now Skolna's turn. Now you're in melee with this individual, so Skolna whips around to the side of them and is going to attack with advantage to get her sneak attack in. And that super hits with a dirty 20.
Hell
Rolling
yeah.
damage. And then sneak attack, which I cannot seem to find. There we go. Okay, she deals 16 points of piercing damage to this individual, who winces and groans. And then Skolna will bonus action disengage and make some space.
Excellent.
It's now this caster's turn. And he is going to cast a spell. The one he had been holding in the first place. Okay, I need a wisdom saving throw from you, Wash, and Skolna.
Okay.
Or not Skolna, Sigona.
Like,
Okay, you are slowed.
okay.
Sigona.
AC goes down by 2.
Yeah. AC goes down by 2. You can use an attack.
Action and bonus action. Okay. But
Let
not
me
all
just
3.
write it here. Yeah, you have disadvantage. You have a -2 penalty to your dex saving throws as well, and you cannot use a reaction. You can use either an action or a bonus action, but not both.
But not both. Very frustrating for a bard.
Yeah. Sigona succeeded. Wash succeeded. So you're the only one who's slowed.
Okay.
And it is your turn.
I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw right back from him and from this other guy.
From who?
From these
Oh,
two people.
okay.
They're pretty close together, right?
Yes, they are. Within 10 feet of each other. The mage rolled a 16.
Mage fails.
Oh, then they both failed, because the other one rolled a 14.
Great. They are. I'm casting hypnotic pattern, and they are both lulled by the hypnotic pattern.
They're both
I think
charmed.
they're both charmed. I can't remember.
Oh, he has advantage on charm effects.
He has advantage on charm effects. Okay, yeah, because he's yeah.
It didn't get any better, so he's
Fantastic.
still charmed.
So they are both enthralled. I think it's like it's more sound than visual for Tam. I mean, there is like you can see the little sort of like the little fiddle that's playing, but it's like a hypnotic fiddle,
Gotcha.
basically. So they're hearing beautiful music. And
EDM
I would
trance music.
I would actually like to flavor it that they're hearing oh my gosh, what's Soul Singer's name? It's been a minute. But they're hearing her like play.
Okay.
They're like specifically hearing like Soul Singer play.
Hold on a minute. Do you have to choose the targets?
Do I have to choose? No, it's a range. It's like within
Like,
area.
do you have to see them?
You create twisting pattern of light. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Each creature who sees, they have to see the pattern. I don't think I have to.
Okay, hold on.
Like, it's as long as it's within
Okay.
the 30-foot cube, those are the people that are affected.
A Gold's Watch individual who suddenly their invisibility falls off because they're stunned reveals themselves.
Great. Shit, there's Gold's Watch. It's not great.
All right. Anything else in your turn?
I can't do anything else. I can't. Can I get a little farther? I can. Can I get a farther away from this guy?
Yeah, he can't do anything.
He's lulled, so he can't react. Great. I'm gonna make some distance. Also.
Okay. It's now Hiram's turn.
I will, and they know how the spell works because we've talked about it. I'm like, don't these three are had for a minute. Focus on that one.
Which one?
Focus on this guy, the one that's not. Focus on the one that's not under the effect,
So
or they'll
one
come
on
right out of it.
the roof. Okay.
Yeah, the one on the roof, if possible.
Hiram nods, rages, and then looks up at the roof, and we'll just chuck javelins. First one hits. Second one hits.
Amazing.
This plus 2, 9 points of damage, and then 9 points of damage. So 18. That's his turn. This. Okay. Tam, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 19.
You hear an individual running up to you.
Okay.
They appear to be invisible.
Okay, so they're probably hostile also.
Probably. Yeah, a Gold's Watch individual reveals themselves as they run up to you, and he's going to make a longsword attack on you.
Okay.
You were aware he was coming, so it is not an advantage.
Awesome. My AC is 11 right now.
Yeah, he hits you with a 14.
Yeah.
Okay, he deals 6 points of slashing damage. And he swings again.
Okay.
7 points of slashing. No. Never mind. That was a natural 1 to hit. So he misses.
Oh, great.
It was a 7, but it was to hit.
Gotcha. I am going to use... I hate using my inspiration this way, but I just rolled an 8 for my con save.
For concentration?
I'm going to burn one of my... Oh, and it still fails.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so my awesome spell that caught 3 people fades.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or caster next time, baby.
Yep. This Gold's Watch, who comes out of it, shakes his head, and then runs over here to flank Hiram. There's advantage. But cannot hit. Hiram is too well armored. He swings again. That's a natural 20.
Amazing.
Okay.
Oh wait, not on natural 20 on Hiram?
Yeah, he crit Hiram for 15 points of slashing damage. Halved because Hiram is raging.
Halved because Hiram is raging, so that's good.
It's now Sagona's turn. Sagona rolls her shoulders and she's like, "Right, quiet, stay quiet. I can do that, no problem."
Totally. Tell the Storm Cleric to be quiet. That's great. Perfect. Love it.
She looks at the individuals around her. She grips her hammer and she closes her eyes, and suddenly small revenants made entirely of lightning out all around her as she casts Spirit Guardians.
Love it.
So she suddenly has this 10-foot radius. Can you? Or is it 15 foot? Oh, it's 15 foot. That's much bigger. And then she moves real up close into melee with this guy.
Yep.
Which puts all of these yokels in the radius of it, so they need to make wisdom saves. Mage first. Mage succeeds, takes half. Thief fails. Gold's Watch fails. Rolling damage. Okay. 18 points of radiant damage. 9 to the mage. 19, 18. She just like rolls her shoulders and she says, "Is that quite enough?"
Thank you. That's perfect. Appreciate it.
From above, this thief is going to back off, pull out her crossbow, take a shot at Sagona. Misses. She'll shoot again. Misses. A 5 and a 2. Okay, it's now Wash's turn. Wash is going to strike the mage.
Stun this bastard.
She'll try. That's a hit. Hold on. Let me just roll damage here.
Mages don't have good con. Please be stunned.
She will apply a stunning strike. He rolled a 12, which is a failure. He is stunned.
Yeah. Yes, we love it.
How are you looking
Ooh,
over here?
You know, I only took.
Right, but I
Everyone's so
can't
slow?
see her.
Oh.
Well, as
Yes,
soon
I
as he
can.
is stunned, the concentration on that ends. So no, you are no
yeah.
longer stunned. How's your health?
Fantastic.
Where you at?
I think I only took 6. Yeah, I only took 6, so I'm at 37.
Okay. Then Wash will just stay right here and pummel this guy.
Awesome.
With advantage. That's a natural 19. But no crit. Okay. She swings the quarterstaff again. For 10 points of bludgeoning damage. The mage slumps over.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
Well, he's unconscious for the moment.
Okay.
Wash whips around, flanking this individual. With advantage. Hits. Dealing 10 points of damage.
Wash is a beast. We love it.
Monk, yeah.
We love it.
Okay. The thief here is going to... Man, it's in a tight spot. I'm going to try and get some attacks on Sagona. That's a hit. That's a miss. And that's
How
a
much
hit.
of a hit? Okay.
The first
Is
hit was a 23 to hit, and the second hit was a... where'd it go? A 19 to hit.
Cutting words.
Which one? The first or the third?
The third one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna.
You don't have to roll anything. It was a 19 to hit, and that's her AC.
It's a 19 and she's fantastic.
Okay. Sagona takes 10 points of piercing damage. Sagona's going to make a Constitution saving throw. Check on her concentration. That's a 10 on the die. She succeeds.
Oh yeah.
Skolna's turn. Skolna's going to... she'll bonus action hide. So she's going to run up the alley. Tuck into the alleyway. And then stealth. Okay. She'll reemerge and she will shoot an arrow at the thief between Sagona and Wash. Okay. That's 17 base to hit, which totally hits.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Get that sneak attack, girl. Thief versus thief. Spy versus spy.
6 damage on the short bow plus 14, so 20 points of damage to the thief.
Incredible.
That's Skolna's turn. Okay, Tam.
Let's see. I'm still in melee with this guy. This fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would like him to please make me a saving throw.
Which kind?
Wisdom saving throw.
That's a 17.
17. Oh, okay. 17 is what. But I think he does. I'm casting a dissonant whisper.
Oh, he should take half damage still.
Yeah, so he takes half, I think. Let's see. Cast. Where are you? Come here. Come here, dissonant whispers. I didn't roll very good. Okay, that's there. It's only 3 psychic damage. I was trying to make it. I would have done more with the vicious mockery probably. But I was trying to make him run away from me, and he didn't do that. I am, however, no longer slowed.
Yeah, you have bonus action still.
I do have a bonus action. So I'm going to throw some bardic. I'm gonna throw some bardic to Wash.
To Wash?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, see how important you are, and I'm gonna see how important you are to this.
Okay. You say that to Wash, see how important you are, and she seems to just smile as she's still focused, like the quarterstaff inches away from the thief's head.
Cool, amazing. That's all I can do. I'm gonna get pounded on by this guy.
Okay, it's now Hiram's turn. Hiram has some individuals in melee with him. He's going to swing his longsword. Firstly, at the one that he's flanking with Wash. Natural 20.
Amazing.
Okay, critical hit.
Don't kill anybody.
That's 18 points of damage to this thief, who is immediately dropped. He whips around and will swing recklessly at that soldier. You notice, in the moments that you have to see, he hits with a 16. These Gold's Watch, quote-unquote, are not Gold's Watch.
Oh, good. That makes me...
These are Aurelian military.
What? Aurelian military.
Yes. He takes 11 points of slashing damage. Hiram, does he have a bonus action he can use? I don't think so.
Are there any, like, King's Mark? Is there anything Demeric related on them that I noticed?
You would have to roll investigation, and you can do that on your turn.
Okay.
At the end of his turn, this soldier must make a wisdom saving throw for the Spirit Guardians. He fails with an 8. Oh, that might be bad for him. There is no non-lethal for Spirit Guardians.
Oh, shit.
18 radiant damage. Yep. He done.
Oh, no.
As radiant energy licks up the armor, he just slumps over. Complete ragdoll.
Does he have death saving throws? Like, could a Spare the Dying or a Healing Word or something back up? Or
he's currently burning in radiant damage.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so the one in front of you is gonna swing at you. That's a 19 to hit.
Yep,
It totally hits you and your no armor.
And my no armor. I mean, it would hit me in armor too, which makes me feel slightly better. But...
Okay, you take 10 points of slashing damage.
Oof.
He's gonna swing again.
Squishy boy.
That's a 12 to hit.
That doesn't hit me.
You managed to dodge that one. Okay.
I'm not slowed anymore.
Okay. It's now Sagona's turn. This thief is down. The soldier's down. The mage is still... No, he's down. Sagona will run over here, pulling the radiant energy with her. So he must make a wisdom save. He failed, taking 18 points of radiant damage. Oof. And then Sagona looks up at the thief on the roof, and she's going to cast Sacred Flame. This thief must make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, man. 14 is not going to cut it. So,
yeah.
This Sacred Flame 2d8.
Sakota just out here. I was like, be quiet. She was like, okay. And then she just...
I'm being quiet. That's 10 points of radiant damage. That's her turn. No, she will move all the way up and flank with you.
Okay.
Should you choose to attack them. Okay. It's now the thief on the roof's turn. The thief, looking around the situation, flees. Runs up the roof.
Fair. Is there anything we can do about that? Can someone... He's too far away.
He's like up on the roof. He was already 60 feet away from you guys, up on the roof. You kind of feel like if he gets out of sight, it's like he's gone.
If he gets out of sight, it's gone. Okay, I'm gonna look at Skull and be like, can you get him?
She like shrugs and says, "I'll try." It's now Wash's turn. Wash, seeing that
Oh,
conversation
fuck.
between of you, runs up the wall.
That's right. She's a monk.
Gets up on the roof.
And has
And
a
as,
bazillion
yeah, she
speeds.
sees the thief like 30 feet away from the edge of, 60 feet away from the edge of the roof, and Wash will action dash.
Yeah, can she
And
like push him off, or can she use a key point to dash and then catch him up with him and push him off?
probably, let me see how many key points she has. Plenty. Okay. Yeah, she'll bonus action step of the wind, dash up to him, and try and stun him.
Awesome.
That's a hit. So I'll roll. Damage. And then they make a con save. What's her DC? I lost it. Hang on. Let me read the thing. 15. Oh man, he fails. He's got a 14, so he is stunned. Okay. Bad news for him. Wash will hit him again with a quarterstaff. With the advantage now. Oh, natural 20.
Oh shit.
All right.
He's toast. This dude's toast.
That is 20 points of bludgeoning damage. Right to the noggin. He's still alive, but he's hurting. Skolna's turn. Skolna will run up to the wall, look at it in a little bit of dismay, and we'll start to climb it. Roll athletics. Okay, Skolna begins to climb the wall. She will bonus action dash. She makes it to the top of the wall. She does not have enough movement to get in a melee, but she will short bow with advantage. She gets sneak attack, crit.
Oh shit, this guy's so done.
Yeah. I don't think I even need to. I'll roll it, but I don't think I need to. That's 14 damage base from the short bow, and then the sneak attack is 3d6 plus 18. Dude, this
Nice try, my guy.
guy's unconscious. He's done.
Yeah, he's down.
Okay.
He's real down.
That's his turn. It's now your turn, Tam. You have an Aurelian soldier in front of you. What do you do?
I'm gonna attack with the Soul Singer with advantage, and I'm gonna use that bardic feature that I can add the full damage of a bardic.
Okay.
I think I can add it. I think I can add a bardic. But I'm gonna use my tattoo to
Make it full.
make it so I can also, yeah.
Okay.
It would be great if you would roll from the sheet. Please roll from the sheet. Yes, please. It's not rolling from the sheet. That's annoying. Okay, I'm going to. It's r slash.
It's slash R space. Then the
Slash
dice.
this is what I always slash r space d20 plus 7.
You hit.
I hit. Okay, I will see if I crit. Because I have advantage, and why not? And everyone's critting all over the place. Okay, not. I did not crit.
No crit, but you do hit.
I do hit. And so I'm going to roll. It's a d8 of piercing plus 4, plus another d8.
Okay. So 2d8 plus 4.
Yeah. Well, no, the d8 is going to be a full d8 because I'm using my
okay.
inspired mark. So that's going to be 4. So plus 12. Nope. Slash R. See, this is.
It has always been slash R. It will always be slash R.
It will always be, and I'm always going to. Oh, of course, that's a 1. That's annoying.
Okay,
But it's
so
still 13.
13 points of damage.
I'm gonna try to make it non-lethal if that's relevant.
Yeah, you knock him out.
Okay, great.
As you have defeated this ambush of individuals whose surprise was ruined, Well, that is where we will call it tonight.
Sure.
As you have gotten away with a Riverine coin.
Shit, man. Kaisa is Gold's watch, right? She's not city guard.
Correct. Though she is questioning at the moment.
Yeah, Tam's gonna have some stories for her.
Oh, yeah. As we come to the end of the session, I want to thank you for playing with me. And to those of you who are at home or at work watching, hi, Penn. Hi, Emily. Hi, everybody else. We love you all, and I wish you a good night.